Viking crafts and artistic traditions produced functional objects that combined practical utility with aesthetic beauty through intricate designs, symbolic imagery, and skilled craftsmanship that reflected Norse cultural values and technical abilities. Viking artisans created works that served daily needs while expressing cultural identity and demonstrating the maker's expertise. Viking wood carving represented one of the most widespread and important craft traditions and transformed timber into everything from simple household utensils to elaborate architectural elements and decorative objects. Wood's abundance in Scandinavia made it the primary material for most Viking crafts and construction. Ancient Viking decorative carving incorporated complex patterns, including geometric designs, interlacing ribbons, stylized animals, and mythological scenes that adorned buildings, furniture, ships, and portable objects. Carving styles evolved over time with distinct regional variations and artistic periods. Viking tool making for woodworking produced axes, adzes, chisels, gouges, and knives that enabled sophisticated carpentry and carving work. Quality tools were essential for producing fine crafts and represented significant investments for artisans. Ancient Viking furniture construction created chairs, benches, tables, beds, and storage chests that furnished Viking homes with functional pieces that often incorporated decorative carving and joinery techniques. Furniture quality varied according to owner wealth and craftsman skill. Viking boat-building craftsmanship created vessels ranging from small fishing boats to massive ocean-going longships through sophisticated understanding of wood properties, hull design, and construction techniques. Boat builders held prestigious positions in Norse society. Ancient Viking barrel and container making produced watertight vessels for storing and transporting liquids, foods, and other goods through cooperage techniques that fitted wooden staves together with metal hoops. Containers were essential for Viking daily life and commerce. Viking musical instrument crafting created lyres, flutes, horns, and drums that provided entertainment and accompanied singing during feasts and social gatherings. Musical instruments demonstrated both technical skill and artistic sensibility. Ancient Viking bone and antler working utilized animal materials to create combs, pins, aiming pieces, tool handles, and decorative objects through carving, drilling, and polishing techniques. Bone and antler provided durable materials suitable for detailed work. Viking comb making represented a specialized craft that produced essential grooming tools from antler or bone through careful splitting, shaping, and tooth cutting. Combs were used daily by all social classes and varied in quality and decoration. Ancient Viking gaming piece production created elaborate sets for board games, including Heffertolf, and other strategy games that were popular throughout Viking society. Gaming pieces ranged from simple carved wood to elaborate glass or walrus ivory creations. Viking jewelry making transformed precious metals, amber, glass beads, and other materials into ornamental objects, including arm rings, brooches, pendants, and finger rings that displayed wealth and status while serving functional purposes. Jewelry represented portable wealth and important gifts. Ancient Viking filigree work created intricate, decorative patterns through twisted wire and tiny metal granules that were attached to jewelry surfaces through soldering or mechanical connections. Filigree demonstrated exceptional skill and produced delicate, Valuable pieces. Viking enamel work incorporated colored glass materials fused onto metal surfaces to create colorful decorative effects on jewelry and other objects. Enamel techniques required knowledge of glass properties and metal compatibility. Ancient Viking leather working produced shoes, belts, bags, scabbards, and other items from processed animal hides through cutting, sewing, and decorative techniques. Leather crafting supplied essential goods for daily life and specialized purposes. Viking shoe making created footwear appropriate to different activities and weather conditions. Through various construction methods, including simple turn shoes and more complex multi-layer designs, quality footwear was essential for comfort and foot protection. Ancient Viking bag and pouch production provided containers for carrying personal items, tools, and valuables through leather or textile construction with drawstring closures or flap covers. Bags were essential accessories for travel and daily activities. Viking rope and cordage making twisted plant fibers, animal hair, or leather strips into strong lines used for rigging ships, securing loads, and countless other purposes. Rope making required skill to produce consistent, strong cordage. Ancient Viking basket weaving utilized flexible plant materials including willow, birch bark, and roots to create containers for storage, transport, and processing various goods. Basket making provided essential household items through renewable materials. Viking ceramic production created cooking vessels, storage containers, and other pottery items through hand building and firing techniques. Viking pottery was generally utilitarian rather than decorative and served practical household needs. Ancient Viking glass bead making melted and shaped colored glass into decorative beads that were used in jewelry and traded throughout Viking networks. Glassworking required specialized knowledge and equipment to achieve desired colors and forms. Viking runestone carving created memorial monuments through inscription of runic texts and decorative designs on large stones that commemorated deceased individuals and important events. Runestone carving combined literacy, artistic skill, and stone working abilities. Ancient Viking textile arts included various decorative techniques beyond basic weaving, such as tablet weaving for bands and borders, null binding for warm clothing, and specialized pattern weaving. Textile decoration enhanced functional items with aesthetic appeal. Viking embroidery. Thread production created colored threads for decorative needlework through dyeing and preparation of fine yarns. Thread quality affected embroidery results and demonstrated the worker's attention to detail. Ancient Viking tapestry weaving produced decorative wall hangings that insulated homes while displaying scenes from mythology, history, or daily life. Tapestries represented significant investments of time and materials. Viking sewing and tailoring constructed garments through careful cutting, fitting, and stitching that created comfortable, durable clothing appropriate to Norse climate and activities. Tailoring skills varied from basic functional sewing to elaborate garment construction. Ancient Viking pattern development created templates and methods for producing consistent, well-fitted garments and other sewn items. Pattern knowledge was passed from experienced sewers to learners through demonstration and practice. Viking color coordination in crafts combined dyed materials, natural material colors, and contrasting elements to create visually appealing objects that demonstrated aesthetic sensibility. Color choices reflected both personal preferences and cultural conventions. Ancient Viking quality standards in crafts maintained consistency and reputation through attention to materials, construction methods, and finishing details. Craftsmen who produced reliable, quality work developed reputations that attracted customers and commanded premium prices. Viking apprenticeship in crafts trained new artisans through years of practical experience, working alongside masters who shared technical knowledge and trade secrets. Apprentices gradually developed skills through progressive responsibility for more complex work. Ancient Viking tool maintenance for crafts ensured that implements remained sharp, properly shaped, and functional through regular attention to sharpening, handle replacement, and repair. Proper tool care extended equipment life and maintained work quality. Viking workshop organization arranged workspaces, tools, and materials to facilitate efficient production while maintaining safety and quality standards. Successful workshops balanced productivity with attention to craftsmanship. Ancient Viking material sourcing obtained raw materials through combinations of local gathering, trade, and specialized production that supplied craft workshops. Material quality affected finished product characteristics and value. Viking entertainment and storytelling provided essential recreational activities that relieved the monotony of daily work while preserving cultural traditions, transmitting historical knowledge, and strengthening social bonds within Norse communities. Entertainment took various forms appropriate to different seasons, occasions, and social contexts. Viking oral storytelling represented the primary method of preserving history, mythology, and cultural values before widespread literacy, with skilled storytellers memorizing and reciting lengthy narratives during feasts and social gatherings. Stories entertained audiences while teaching moral lessons and cultural knowledge. Ancient Viking saga recitation presented heroic tales of legendary figures, family histories, and historical events through structured narratives that combined entertainment with cultural education. Sagas could take hours or multiple sessions to complete and captivated audiences. With dramatic plots, Viking poetry composition and recitation followed strict metrical patterns and employed complex literary devices, including kennings and alliteration that demonstrated poetic skill and cultural sophistication. Skilled poets called skalds gained prestige and patronage through their artistic abilities. Ancient Viking riddle games tested wit and knowledge through cryptic questions that required clever interpretation and cultural understanding to solve. Riddles provided intellectual entertainment and demonstrated participants' mental acuity. Viking music performance utilized various instruments and vocal techniques to create entertainment during feasts, ceremonies, and informal gatherings. Musical skills were valued social accomplishments that enhanced celebrations and community bonding. Ancient Viking singing included both solo performances and group participation in songs that ranged from work songs and lullabies to elaborate ceremonial compositions. Singing accompanied many daily activities and special occasions. Viking dancing provided physical entertainment and social interaction during feasts and celebrations through group dances and individual performances. Dancing combined physical activity with musical accompaniment and social bonding. Ancient Viking board games offered strategic entertainment through games including Epitaph, a chess-like strategy game and various dice games that provided mental challenges and social interaction. Gaming was popular among all social classes. Viking physical contests tested strength, skill, and endurance through competitions including wrestling, swimming, horse racing, and various athletic challenges. Physical competitions provided entertainment, while maintaining fitness and establishing social hierarchies. Ancient Viking swimming competitions demonstrated aquatic abilities that were essential survival skills in coastal and riverine environments. Swimming prowess was highly valued and provided both practical benefits and entertainment. Viking horse racing and equestrian displays showcased valuable animals and riding skills through races and demonstrations that entertained spectators while displaying wealth and ability. Horse ownership and riding ability indicated high social status. Ancient Viking hunting expeditions provided both practical food acquisition and recreational entertainment through pursuit of game, animals in forests and mountains. Hunting combined necessary subsistence activities with enjoyable outdoor pursuits. Viking fishing expeditions similarly blended practical food gathering with recreational enjoyment of outdoor activities and the satisfaction of successful catches. Fishing techniques varied from simple hand lines to elaborate net systems. Ancient Viking winter indoor activities included craft projects, tool maintenance, storytelling sessions, and games that occupied long, dark winter months when outdoor work was limited. Indoor entertainment helped communities survive. Psychological challenges of winter isolation. Viking feast entertainment combined eating, drinking, music, storytelling, and social interaction in elaborate celebrations that could last for days during major festivals and life events. Feasts represented high points of Viking social life. Ancient Viking wedding celebrations included days of feasting, gift exchanges, ritual activities, and entertainment that brought communities together to witness and celebrate marriage unions. Wedding festivities strengthened social bonds and family alliances. Viking funeral ceremonies incorporated entertainment elements including eulogies, recitation of deceased accomplishments, competitive games, and feasting that honored the dead while comforting survivors. Funeral activities celebrated lives while acknowledging loss. Ancient Viking seasonal festivals marked important transitions throughout the year with celebrations that combined religious observances, feasting, and entertainment appropriate to each occasion. Seasonal festivals structured the Viking year and provided regular opportunities for community gathering. Viking children's games introduced young people to adult skills and social relationships through play activities that mimicked adult work and social patterns. Children's play prepared them for future responsibilities while providing entertainment. Ancient Viking toy making created miniature tools, weapons, animals, and other objects that children used in imaginative play. Toys were often simple wooden carvings or fabric dolls, but served important developmental purposes. Viking youth training combined education with entertainment through games and activities that taught necessary skills, including hunting techniques, boat handling, and combat abilities. Learning through play made skill acquisition more enjoyable. Ancient Viking animal training demonstrated human control over horses, dogs, birds, and other animals through patient conditioning and reward systems. Trained animals provided both practical services and entertainment through their abilities. Viking dog training produced animals that assisted with hunting, herding, and guarding activities while providing companionship. Well-trained dogs were valuable, assets that enhanced household security and productivity. Ancient Viking falconry and hawk training created hunting, partners from birds of prey through careful conditioning and handling. Falconry represented prestigious entertainment that required significant time and resources. Viking shipboard entertainment during long voyages included storytelling, singing, games, and contests that relieved boredom and maintained crew morale during extended periods at sea. Shipboard entertainment was essential for successful voyages. Ancient Viking trading fair entertainment combined commercial activities with social gatherings, athletic contests, and other diversions that made market attendance more enjoyable while facilitating business. Relationships. Viking courtship rituals incorporated entertainment elements, including gift exchanges, poetry composition, and public displays that attracted potential partners and demonstrated desirability. Courtship activities blended serious mate selection with playful interaction. Ancient Viking gift-giving customs strengthened social bonds through exchanges of valuable or meaningful objects that demonstrated generosity and maintained reciprocal relationships. Gift exchanges occurred throughout the year, but intensified during festivals. Viking competitive boasting allowed individuals to publicly proclaim their accomplishments, while challenging others to match or exceed their achievements. Boasting served both entertainment and social hierarchy functions. Ancient Viking memory competitions tested participants' abilities to recite lengthy texts, genealogies, or lists that demonstrated mental capacity and cultural knowledge. Memory skills were highly valued in oral cultures. Viking weather prediction provided both practical information and entertainment through observation of natural signs and folk wisdom that forecast coming conditions. Accurate prediction enhanced reputation and demonstrated special knowledge. Viking evening routines marked the transition from daylight activities to nighttime rest and provided time for families to gather, share meals, engage in indoor activities, and prepare for sleep in the relative safety of their homes. Evening hours allowed Vikings to maintain social bonds while recovering from the physical demands of daily work. Viking sunset observations noted the sun's position and changing light that signaled the approaching end of daylight hours and the need to complete outdoor activities before darkness made work impossible or dangerous. Seasonal variations in sunset timing dramatically affected daily schedules. Ancient Viking evening meal preparation created the day's most substantial food consumption and provided opportunities for families to gather around hearths where cooking fires provided both food and warmth. During cold northern evenings, evening meals included foods that had been prepared throughout the day. Viking indoor lighting utilized oil lamps, tallow candles, and torchlight to extend productive hours beyond sunset while creating warm, flickering illumination that transformed home interiors into cozy spaces. Lighting fuel represented significant household expenses. Ancient Viking fire tending maintained hearth fires that provided heat, light, and cooking capability throughout the night. Someone had to monitor fires to prevent dangerous blazes while ensuring flames never died completely in cold weather. Viking evening conversations allowed family members to share information about daily activities, discuss plans and concerns, and maintain social bonds through regular communication. Conversation topics ranged from practical matters to storytelling and gossip. Ancient Viking evening work continued indoor activities, including textile production, tool maintenance, leatherworking, and other crafts that could be performed by lamplight. Evening work extended productive hours while providing activities during long winter nights. Viking children's bedtime routines prepared young people for sleep through washing, changing into sleeping garments, and settling into sleeping areas. Parents often told stories or sang to children to help them fall asleep. Ancient Viking evening prayers offered thanks to gods for the day's blessings and requested protection. During vulnerable sleeping hours, when supernatural threats seemed more dangerous, evening prayers maintained proper relationships with divine forces. Viking sleep preparation involved arranging bedding materials, including furs, woolen blankets, and straw-filled mattresses or sleeping platforms that provided insulation from cold floors and protection from drafts. Sleeping comfort affected rest quality and health. Ancient Viking sleeping arrangements varied by social status and family size, with wealthy families occupying separate sleeping chambers, while common people often shared multi-purpose rooms. Privacy was limited in most Viking homes. Viking nighttime security measures included securing doors and windows, banking fires safely, and ensuring that valuable possessions were protected from theft. Some communities maintained night watches to guard against various threats. Ancient Viking nocturnal sounds included wind through trees, animal calls, ocean waves, creaking timbers, and occasional human activities that provided familiar background noise. These sounds could be comforting or concerning, depending on their nature. Viking dream interpretation considered dreams potentially significant communications from gods, ancestors, or supernatural forces that provided warnings, guidance, or prophecies about future events. Disturbing dreams received particular attention. Ancient Viking nightmare responses involved protective rituals, prayers, and magical practices intended to ward off evil influences that caused disturbing dreams. Bad dreams could indicate supernatural threats requiring spiritual countermeasures. Viking sleep positions reflected both comfort preferences and practical considerations, including warmth conservation and space sharing in crowded sleeping areas. People typically slept on their sides in semi-fetal positions. Ancient Viking snoring problems disrupted household sleep and sometimes led to separate sleeping arrangements for particularly loud snorers. Snoring remedies included position changes and various folk treatments. Viking night waking for various purposes, including tending fires, checking livestock, attending to children, or responding to nature's call, interrupted sleep throughout the night. Sleep patterns differed from modern continuous sleep expectations. Ancient Viking elderly sleep patterns often involved earlier bedtimes, more frequent waking, and daytime napping to compensate for less restful nighttime sleep. Older people's sleep needs received accommodation within household routines. Viking infant sleep care involved mothers or nursemaids attending to babies' needs throughout the night, including feeding, changing, and comforting. Infant care significantly disrupted adult sleep patterns. Ancient Viking sick care during night hours required family members to monitor and attend to ill individuals who needed extra attention. Night nursing represented challenging but necessary family obligations. Viking seasonal sleep variations reflected dramatic changes in daylight hours, with very short summer nights barely justifying sleep and extremely long winter nights providing extensive darkness. Sleep patterns adapted to these variations. Ancient Viking winter sleep extended through long dark hours when outdoor work was impossible and indoor activities were limited by lighting constraints. Winter sleep patterns differed dramatically from summer schedules. Viking morning preparation began in pre-dawn darkness, during winter months when early risers rekindled fires and prepared for the day before sunrise. Morning routines varied seasonally according to daylight availability. Ancient Viking sleep quality affected health, mood, and work capacity, with poor sleep contributing to illness and decreased productivity. Vikings understood the importance of adequate rest, even without modern sleep science. Viking sleeping sickness and disorders affected some individuals who experienced unusual sleep difficulties, including insomnia, excessive sleepiness, or disturbed sleep patterns. Folk medicine offered various remedies for sleep problems. Ancient Viking snoring remedies included position changes, herbal preparations, and magical practices intended to quiet noisy sleepers. Success varied, but treatments demonstrated concern for sleep quality. Viking meditation and relaxation practices helped some individuals achieve restful sleep through mental calming techniques, prayer, and focused breathing. Quiet contemplation aided transition to sleep. Ancient Viking bedtime stories entertained children while helping them fall asleep through familiar narratives that provided comfort and cultural education. Storytelling created bonding opportunities between parents and children. Viking lullabies soothed infants and young children through gentle singing that combined melodic comfort with lyrical content about safety, love, and pleasant dreams. Lullabies were passed through generations. Ancient Viking sleep blessings invoked divine protection during vulnerable sleeping hours through prayers and rituals that requested safety from physical and supernatural threats. Sleep blessings provided psychological comfort. Viking morning awakening occurred naturally with changing light during summer months, but required deliberate effort during dark winter mornings when internal rhythms provided less reliable timing. Morning routines reflected seasonal patterns. Ancient Viking daily cycle completion acknowledged the passage of another day and the continuation of life patterns that connected Vikings with ancestors and descendants through shared rhythms. Daily cycles provided structure and meaning. Viking rest and recovery through sleep enabled continued work and maintained health across lifespans. Sleep represented essential renewal that sustained Viking communities through generations of northern living.